All right, so you see the title. Heterosexual woman says lesbians use men for babies. That's what I've titled my video today. And this is regarding a YouTuber who actually makes quite a few videos regarding gay people. And this woman is actually an older woman. She identifies as a heterosexual woman. And I saw maybe 2 or 3 videos from her. And I actually knew right away that this woman did not know what she was talking about. For one, she covers a lot of information about gay people, but in a very derogatory manner. She focuses a lot on down low gay men, for example, and based off of the 2 or 3 videos that I watched of hers, she was probably either married to a man who was on the down low, or she dated men who she later found out were on the down low. So she talks about these experiences. Now, she pretty much seems to talk about heterosexual relationships and how to find a man, or how to find happiness with men, based off of just me browsing her content. But I knew nothing about this woman's channel. You know how you may get a video recommendation, and it was about what you see here on my screen. She has this video where she titles the video "Surviving the Down Low Lesbian Woman." And I listened to the video, and she does not know at all what she is talking about. And I'm not saying this out of spite or being offended. I actually was looking forward to listening to the video, because I wanted to hear a heterosexual woman's perspective about lesbians. And so I listened to the video, and I'll be honest with you, it was very misinformed, even disturbing. And you may have already seen the video. If you have not, it's up to your discretion if you want to view it. But I do want to warn you, the video may trigger you, because she speaks about lesbians in a very judgmental way. It's actually very harsh. And she, of course, will include her own religious beliefs according to how she feels about homosexuality. But I wanted to address this video that she did, because the video has quite a few views. It's a lot of views on this video. And I think it would be a disservice for me not to address the miscommunication in the video that she conducted, because I even scanned the comment section, and there's so many comments, but I'll just say that 90% of the comments that I scanned, these people were in agreement with everything that she said. And it's really, really disturbing. I saw a few comments from women who said that they were lesbians, and they really did provide a comment to help people understand that being a lesbian is not at all the way she described lesbian women. But let me just basically provide my lesbian perspective. And I titled my video, Heterosexual Woman Says Lesbians Use Men for Babies. My name is Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. Thank you for listening. I do provide content from a lesbian perspective, and I discuss topics that are relatable and informative about lesbian, gay, bisexual, and LGBTQ plus people. And I uphold living an authentic life. If that interests you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Now, I believe that this YouTuber, the woman who made this video, I think her name is Miss Faye, but that is the title of her video, called Surviving the Down Low Lesbian Woman. And immediately I recognize this woman as being the type of woman who listens to a male perspective that is very disingenuous, and it comes from a male perspective who is calloused about women. And that was her first mistake, because she initially starts the video off with making a statement, and I'm just paraphrasing, I don't know too much about lesbians, but I have listened to men who tell me how lesbians have hurt them and they lie about being lesbians and they end up sleeping with men, and then they'll be with the man, and then all of a sudden they'll leave the man when she gets pregnant by him. And the men tell me that these lesbians are trapping these men by getting pregnant by them. And when the man finds out that she's pregnant, then she wants to break up, and she sometimes even just says that she's a lesbian and she doesn't want a man. And that was just to paraphrase what she was saying. And her first mistake was that she doesn't know about lesbians. And she admitted that she did not know about lesbians. And she identifies as a heterosexual woman. And she's also an older, mature woman. And it really is really unfortunate to find women who are older and they are not educating themselves enough to be able to provide accurate and reliable content, and they will go on social media and they will pretty much unload. And where this comes from with a lot of these type of content, I don't even want to call them creators, because this is not creative at all. It's content dogma. That's what I want to call it. You know, you can just say that I said this is content dogma, DOGMA, because they're speaking from a place of anger. They're speaking from a place of resentment and disdain for same-sex attracted people. And it's like they may hear just one or two people, in this scenario, maybe a male, give their explanation of how they view women who actually get involved with men and have babies from these men and leave these men because they believe that they can take care of a child on their own and break up a happy family, all in the name of saying that they are lesbians. And this is terrible that this type of content dogma is released to where thousands of people listen. And like I say, this video has a lot of views, and I scanned through the comment section and I read some of the comments. And like I say, 90% of the comments were all in support of what this woman was saying in her video. And I remember there was a comment by, obviously the woman must have identified as a heterosexual woman, because her username was a female username, but she made the comment, "We need to protect our men from these so-called lesbians," end quote. I'll repeat it again. The comments said, "We need to protect our men from these so-called lesbians," end quote. Well, I don't even know where to begin with that type of comment, but I'll just tell you this. As you can see, she refers to these lesbian women as being on the DL, which is meaning down low. What down low means is, in this regard, it is a woman who is a same-sex attracted person or a homosexual female or a bisexual female who does not disclose her sexual orientation. And she deceives people about her sexual orientation, and she labels herself as a heterosexual, and she's usually in a public relationship with the opposite sex, which would be a man. However, in secret or privately, she is involved emotionally, mentally, and sexually with women. That is what a down low woman or a down low female is. And so the way she just titled this video, "Surviving the DL Lesbian Woman," there's so much to unpack with it, but I just want to say that these men who claim that down low lesbians are trapping them by getting pregnant, and that they're using men for their sperm or their semen in order to become pregnant and have babies by these men, and that these women are responsible for breaking up the family structure. Now, the woman who does the video, she says that these men are heartbroken and they're devastated by lesbians who tell these men that they want to be with them and they want to have a family. And when the man agrees to being in a relationship with this woman, and then he agrees to have a child, bring a child in this world with this woman, then she suddenly turns into Casper. She disappears. She's missing in action. She stated that these women are very selfish and they're very manipulative and that they're very evil. I mean, she really goes in on lesbian women in this video. And like I say, it may trigger you, but she does not think that the homosexual lifestyle is of God, pretty much. That's her religious belief. And she is saying in the video that these lesbians who are pretending to like men are responsible for breaking up the family structure, and that these lesbians are very selfish and that they're wrong to bring children into this world without being married to a man, and that she does not agree with lesbians having children. She actually discusses that if a lesbian has a baby with the man and she leaves that man and she goes to be with another woman in a relationship and raises that child with another woman, she says that that child is going to be confused. And she believes that the lesbian women are not showing or representing as good parents. She doesn't think that lesbians should be in relationships together, but she also is against lesbian couples raising children together. And what I think about her statements are, those are her own personal beliefs. And she does not even know about how lesbian women conduct themselves in their partnerships with other women, because she stated that she does not know much about lesbians. But then she can judge a lesbian partnership and judge the lesbian woman or the lesbian couple for being selfish, for having a child and breaking up a heterosexual relationship only to be in a lesbian relationship. And then she wants to say that children who grow up in these households with homosexuals become confused, and that lesbians are selfish for lying and deceiving men just so that they can have babies with them and go off into their own little world of being lesbians. And I just want to say that she's only listening to this male perspective. She does not know the truth. She's listening to his perspective. And I am very sure there are lesbians who do have children with men intentionally, and they do not desire to be with these men long term in a romantic relationship or in a marriage because they are lesbians. I am sure that does happen. However, the issue I have with this video, this content dogma, is that it paints a picture where it puts all lesbians in the same box of using men to have babies, deceiving men into believing that lesbians are heterosexual women and that they want to have a relationship with a man, and then they want to have a family. And once they are able to become pregnant, they leave the relationship with the man and they live an open lesbian lifestyle to raise children without a man. It is not that cut and dry. It is not that one-sided. And the woman in the video really does not know how these women conduct themselves in their relationships, nor do they know the backstory on why this woman has children. Because she is assuming that since this woman is a lesbian, because she mentioned in the video, well, you know, when you see two women together, because she say, I'll see two women together and they're lesbians and then they have babies. And I know that they can't have babies together. So obviously a man was involved. So she made that blanket statement, but she is looking on the outside. She does not know the backstory. She does not know these women who are lesbians. She does not know their life. She does not know their history. She does not know their history with men. And for her to assume that all lesbians, because she did say and include lesbians, she did not say some lesbians. She said lesbians, down low lesbians. That's all inclusive. And she's basically stating that the only reason why lesbians are involved with men is to use men so that they can become pregnant and have babies and raise these babies in lesbian relationships. There are so many ways that lesbians can conceive children, especially with the way technology has expanded and improved over the years. Women who love women do not necessarily have to resort to being in a committed relationship with a man in order to have children. Women can adopt. Women can become pregnant through insemination. Women actually have doctors who specialize in helping women become pregnant, who are not able to have children or who have trouble with having children, there's different types of doctors who specialize in those fields. And you don't know how a woman decides to have children or the process of her having children. And let me just say this. There's a lot of heterosexual people who take issue with homosexual people having children. There should not be a problem with lesbian and gay people or same-sex attracted people having children if they are taking care of their children. If they are responsible parents, why are you making an issue with them having children? Simply because they're homosexual? That is the most ridiculous reason to say that gay people, lesbians, they're not able to procreate. And if they do have children, they're dysfunctional. They shouldn't be allowed to have children. Children should not be raised in homosexual households. There are countless of heterosexual people who have children all the time, and they neglect their children. They mistreat their children. They hurt their children. They abandon their children. They kick their children out of their house. They give their children up for adoption. Some of them even unalive their children. And they're heterosexual people. But you don't ever talk about that. No, you don't ever talk about that. All you focus on is how a man and a woman should be together and they should be in a heterosexual marriage in order to raise children. And children will grow up healthy with heterosexual parents. That's not proven to be true. And it's also ludicrous. And you do not know about lesbian and gay people because you clearly have described yourself as being homophobic. So there's no way possible that you will know a lesbian and a gay person because you already have preconceived ideas about how you view lesbian and gay people. And it's extremely backwards. It's extremely ignorant. And it's destructive. There are many of children who would love to have a loving household to come to every day. And lesbians are women who love women. But lesbians are also mothers. They're nurturers. They're caring. They're kind to their children, to their families. And for anyone to make content dogma with the intent to disgrace lesbian couples and lesbian parents, they need to be corrected. They need to educate themselves. And they need to keep their mouths shut. Because when you spread this type of heinous, irrational information through social media, you are not keeping it to yourself. You are allowing thousands and thousands of other people to be exposed to these lies and these misconceptions about lesbians, gays, bisexual, and same-sex attracted people. And you're creating a toxic environment for LGBTQ people. To every lesbian who has children and who is caring for your children and loving your children, whether you are a single mother or if you're in a relationship with a woman, I commend you for being strong and for staying focused and being positive. Keep being yourself, keep loving your same-sex partner, and keep loving your children, because you have a family. Even if the world tells you that your family is not real, your family is not natural, your family is dysfunctional solely based on the fact that you are a lesbian or a gay person. Do not listen to these idiots. Keep living your best life. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope it resonates with you. And I want to say that seeing lesbian couples with their children and gay men with their children, it really warms my heart. Such a beautiful sight to see. And for people to just downcast and ridicule our same-sex attraction, love, and our relationships in our family, which includes our children, it's really a shame. And I did not feel right. It didn't feel right in my spirit for me to look at this video that this woman made and just to think that so many people have been exposed to the false representation that she has given on her video about lesbians or even down low lesbians. I had to basically refute it because it's not true. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.